digital world.
You serious? You serious?
Next the country brand new. Journey today. Log on to training.NTI.
Yeah, that's what I
hear you.
That's what I mean. I heard the horse all say.
It's like a lion in a jungle. Yeah.
Yeah. 195.3.
Yeah. That's the spirit of the people. Yeah.
Bugging the camp.
What do you do when you want your days to get brighter? And what do you say when your load don't get lighter? Where do you go when your heart is saying you got nowhere to go? You turn and look for love.
195.3 FM.
Cause people change.
Keep that here for you.
But love remains the same. Seasons come and people go. But love remains the same. Time goes on and we move on. But love remains the same. Yeah. Don't you know time goes on and we move on. But love remains the same. Seasons come and people go. But love remains the same. People change and seasons change. But love remains the same. Change, no. What do you understand when you ask yourself the question? What keeps us together more than
RSG said he locked on. Shout out to you.
RG said he?
He said that he locked on.
RG is 300 people.
But you, it said 246 BB on these four RSG.
Well, that's a member. Make us feel.
time goes on and we move on. But love remains the same.
Alex tell me.
Don't you know time goes on and we move on. But love remains the same. Seasons come and people go. But love remains the same. People change and seasons change.
The love remains the same. It never, ever changes. Bucky the Kente coming through. Welcome inside midweek mindset. Sluggy, what is going on, fam? Headphones too loud?
Yeah, turn this down.
Better?
Turn this down. Yes. Big ups to everyone on the outside. Everyone on the outside. Big ups to you. Big ups to Donnie behind the scenes. Looking at me stink every single Wednesday.
What you say it down, man?
Quiet. We are on air. We are on air, so you can't be here by. Yes. In case when you're wondering, it's enough love here. It's got to get trouble and they love me. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing better than that. And where you can get that? Where you can find a place where you can have everything tailored toward for you. You know what I mean? They like you have to do this or you have to do that. It's no. You like farming? We got sending farming for you. You like agriculture? We got sending agriculture for you. You like sports, money management, health. Let me think outrageous. Like AI. What AI mean? Artificial intelligence. Suppose we're gonna get our own here though. But NTI.org.bb. NTI.org.bb. And let me tell you something now. 2 weeks ago, Scott LaRock and I was having a conversation on here. And I made a statement, NTI. And quick, so I got 17 messages. Now, it may not seem like a lot to you all, but 17 messages besides all the times when others message me. Out of those 17 messages, about 9 people complain. Because when they burn fire on us taking entertainers and these popular people and these celebrities, I burn fire upon we taking these people and putting them to the public and hollering her, these is positive role models. And they get messages and they come on here the next week and say if I offended anyone, I meant to offend. This is Sluggy, not anything. This is Kevin Watson, Sluggy down. And if I offend people out there, I am glad. And if you don't want my friends, I am even happier because I'm gonna say it again. We need to stop making these celebrities and popular people and putting them in the public face and telling the public these is positive role models. No, they are popular people. Man got 3 gun tunes. Man sing about jerky, don't any girl, anything. Man singing all the slackest things that we ain't saying, huh? These positive people, no. Then people popular, that mean the positive. No, why you say that? Because we have actual people out here who doing great work. That might not be a singer, Scott. And they just sing and they sing this. You know what I mean? They went Barbados Community College and learned singing and got qualified in singing and they sing this. They got people that doing positive work and might not be singing a song, Scott. They might not be DJing like you start like a DJ and play some big tune and get forward, you get me? They might not be in the top footballer scoring all the goals. But they're doing great work and making the nation extremely proud. You know what I mean? And there's no reason why these people can't be stars as well. That's why I love NTI. And that way they back me on things they said, because you know what I mean, star agents. That mean all of you, the NTI never tell me, and if they're saying it, no, the God come and tell me off here. They never tell me you's only a star agent, you's a popular singer. They never tell me you's only a star agent if you only got a big tune. They tell me that anyone and everyone can be a star agent. You know, it's doing credit to your nation. It's sending positive messages out there. It's doing the groundwork like a setup our generations to come. And this seem to be talking to one of these people. And when it comes to being a star, she's a star in every sense of the word. Humble in nature, but did some extremely big things. Scholar Rock. I got you know.
All right, we gotta say hello to Alyssa-Amor. She's an Architeer, a multidisciplinary designer of environmentally conscious, energy efficient, and resilient architecture. Architecture that reflects a deep reverence for nature and our interconnectedness with the world in which we live. With a master's in engineering and structural engineering and architecture, her dual backgrounds and specialization in building information modeling BIM have fostered a passion for delivering architecture that is in constant pursuit of next level intelligence through optimization and synergistic design. She's also a TED speaker. I'm pretty sure you all heard about TED Talks. She's a TED ambassador and winner of the TED Idea Search Latin America. Big up yourself, Alyssa-Amor. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
All right. Sluggy.
Listen, Scott, you think you know who's Ted?
Yeah, B, that's a big thing.
Man,
I watch
like-
TED Talks on Netflix.
Oh, I put me in my partner for National Street. Ted no showed me here on IG. So you see watch Ted where?
On Netflix, I believe I used to watch it, yeah.
Listen, TED Talks is probably one of the biggest platforms that we have over here. So I must ask you first, how are you, man?
I'm blessed. Good. Happy to be here.
That's what we're talking about. No, this journey with TED Talks from a Asian girl living right here. You know, TED Talks is not one of the probably the biggest platform, especially when it comes to anything to do with the on the global economic scale or champions for climate change or innovators or business persons. You know, TED Talk is the place where the who's go there only be best. So I figuring out how to be a process. You just can't upload a YouTube video and then post it for you. It had to be a process, and for me, it's saying extremely inspiring. And they can tell when the followers are. I don't know when like they can't think. They can tell when the followers they got or not. I can't think people. Cause you know, it's quite the numbers game too. So people can worry. They can tell when they don't worry. But for me, it's extremely inspiring, especially for Bajan girls, especially for Black Bajan young girls, to hear what a woman that you did. You know what I mean?
You gotta be on expert level to be on TED Talks, you know. Any and everybody don't be on TED Talks.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So first of all, kudos and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And can you tell us how that process was from Bridgetown to TED Talks?
From
Make that talk.
from Bush Hall to TED Talks.
That we're talking about from Bush Hall. I love that, right?
Yeah, TED is, for those who don't know, TED is kind of a global platform where they invite, thought leaders across different fields of technology, engineering, and design to give their thoughts on the state of the world and the state of the future of the world. And typically it's a curatorial process where they handpick they select people across the world,
Handpicked.
handpicked,
So
as in invitation only, as in I was sitting next to.
invitation only sounds like a
It does. It sounds a little exclusive, right?
like tell you like you know they can't just get a Scott ready, you know what I mean? Scott you got like you get me boy like you got to send an invitation so me and then you say handpicked.
Yeah, they have a team that
That's select.
scopes people to come and speak. So, you know, when I did my talk in the room would have been, you know, Al Gore, Elon Musk, you know,
And if
important people
and when
across
you mention
the
Al Gore,
stage.
right? If people don't know, like all right. So let me tell you a story now. When you mention that there Al Gore, I remember being young, right, Scott? I ain't hearing on the news, United States President Al Gore. And then about 15 minutes later, he's not the president no more.
It's true.
Like, I'm being serious, you know. I see this happening. Like, hey, remember this happening like that? Or so Al Gore is a big deal. Because he's someone that got declared the most votes to the U.S. to the president of the United States. Although the guy recounted and he lost, still, you know what I mean. And everything else he did. So say it on platform. These people go, hey,
Yeah, it was an experience that I would remember for, you know, time to come. And my journey to TED was different to others because realistically I'm virtually unknown. Like no one's gonna Google my name and see me as the head of Microsoft or
I get
Tesla, at least not yet, right?
right.
So the way I got introduced to TED was through open ideas competition. And you know, people kept sending me this flyer saying, you know, I saw this and I thought of you, I really think you should apply. And of course I didn't. The deadline passed, but they extended it over the weekends, and I said, you know what, let me just shoot a little video and submit it. So I spoke about my work, and long story short, out of thousands of people that applied, they chose me, and that is how I got to TED in a nutshell.
Whoa.
I skipped the imposter syndrome part and you know, the nerves and all of that, but I got
Speaking of nerves, what was it like when you found out that you had made it?
I was in a meeting at the time, you know, multitasking, and I saw the email pop up, and I was like, okay, they're going to finally come back and tell me.
No.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Who are you? That they were like, you know, congratulations. Out of all the applicants, we chose like a 2% short list, and you're one of them.
Wow.
And then that became my TED journey, maybe like 30 different attempts at writing a script, reading it on the airplane, going over all the fact checking, all the research. You know, that entire process led up to a moment where here I was on stage speaking about, yes, the work that I do, but really putting a message out there about small island developing states, small countries like our own that used to be called third world countries, that most globes when I was growing up didn't have us on it. You know, speaking for not just myself and my work, but for the country of Barbados and other island nations just like ours.
Wow, that's amazing.
In 2022, TED Talks had over 17 million subscribers, and I also got over 3 billion views. So you talk about exclusive, you know, and she was here from Barbados, from Bush. You know what I mean? Like, that is absolutely inspiring. No, it must answer this because you know it happens to all of us. At any point in time, you like feel guilty, like nah, like, what is opportunity for me already? Like here with these people. You know what I mean? I find myself in that situation already. First in the word is Scott. You know what Scott said. Now Scott, I serious. Scott said experience and they come on here. It never been here ever. You know what I mean? He had like 10 years in all over. And then you feel it, his mind reading so good, and then he's speaking so well, so confident, me, or he just turn on and sharp. If he's an audience, ever forget it, playing stamps, you know, like all these things that God do, they will just be doing it callously. So for you, man, as a Bajan girl from Bush Hall, I know you can TED Talks, you best the best. Any point in time, you might come in and you don't hear no. And if it did,
100%.
real thing.
100%.
So how did you get past that stage to be comfortable enough to say yes, I do belong?
Get on my own way. It wasn't about me.
I love that.
I had to get to a point where I realized this message, this content, this speech I kind of pour my heart into that they're not even allowing you to read it off the screen. So whatever you writing and speaking gotta be something you believe and passionate about. So I had to realize, you know what, Alyssa, yeah, it might be you walking across the stage about to talk to these people, but is not about you, Alyssa-Amor. It's about the message, it's about the people you're representing, it's about the type of work that you want to do, the types of projects that you want to do, the legacy you want to leave. And I had to step out to the moment.
And no, I love that, and see the message. When you said you had to step out to your own way, or it wasn't about you anymore. Your mama was bigger than you. That was a very powerful message. But that happened to a lot of us. You're doing something and you think about, man, it's me upstairs, you know me, so then, but we could separate us and believe the message. You know what I mean? Let somebody get the message. And then forget about yourself a little bit. That powerful, that you came to that realization on your own, or that happened through meditation, or that was a process.
I meditate a lot, to be honest. The nature of my job is pretty intense, high stress. So I gotta find ways to kind of quiet all of the external noise and focus in on what's important to me.
Nice.
So, you know, if a contractor vexed about something, a client needs something, I can't do my best creative work if I just reacted to everything. So you really gotta sit down and sit within yourself and know what's your passion, what's your purpose, and then you decide how you want to navigate. And I'll tell you this too, sitting in a room with these people that you spend like over a week with different people, written on a stage.
It was that long?
It was that long, yeah. I mean, it's a production.
They talk to you, just come and talk.
No, you can't just get on people's stage and do foolishness, right? Because think about this, you have donors, people contributing large sums of money to understanding these emerging technologies and ideas. I was sitting next to someone and the nameplate, and I look at it and it was a Rothschild. And I was like,
Whoa.
That's the type of environment you're in, right?
Yeah,
It's not
that's a
about
serious company.
pitching yourself, is really about the new ideas out there solving the world's biggest problems. But one thing I noticed is that everybody in there had a pulse. Everybody had their own version of nerves. And seeing people that you probably only read about having the same, response to this environment as you, it kind of opened my eyes a little bit more to we all just human. We all just got our little projects that we working on, our own things that we need to contribute to the world. And you've got to find a way to just acknowledge your nerves, yes, but don't let them control you, because it will take you away from delivering what you were prepared to do.
I love that. No, one of the things I would have seen you speak about, right, is like how to design like climate change, climate ready buildings. How why was that topic particularly something you're passionate about?
I'll give you an honest answer, and it's not as altruistic as people think when they meet me. I don't know if you know about Maslow's theory. Is a pyramid where at the bottom you have, as human beings, these base needs, like survival, shelter, basically. Fundamentally, that's what architecture is, being able to be safe. But at the very top of this pyramid is self-actualization. Who are you when you're not just trying to survive? Who are you when you're thriving? So for me, architecture is not just about keeping people safe.
It's not, you can't just you can't just throw questions like that, sarcastically, like, who are you when you are not struggling to survive?
No,
That's a deep one.
That's a genuine question.
Like sis, like that is, when we go in my cranium, like when you're comfortable and you feel like,
When you're not worried about paying bills, when you're not worried about keeping a roof over your head.
no stress.
When you free up that mental space, what are the creative things that you put out into the universe?
Scott, if I ask you, Scott LaRock, good evening, bro. Sluggy down here. Can you tell me who are you when you are not stressed, or when you
go and meditate for 2 months.
like, you know what I mean? Like there's no way you can answer that quickly.
Because we're in a state of stress constantly.
All the time.
You know what I mean? They won't say, but yes, that's why.
So when you can take care of the basic needs,
Yes.
right? where you feel secure in the space that you spend 90%, we spend 90% of our time in buildings.
Yeah.
If you're secure in that space, that changes so much about your
90%.
90% of your time.
It's only that's so horrible. 90% in sleep somewhere.
Either sleeping,
Working,
working, whatever.
shopping, whatever, eating.
In the building.
Mm-hmm.
So then you start to understand how important it is
We need to get
to design these spaces in a way that take care of you as
Yeah.
a human being.
Right.
What is your mental health, your wellness? How much daylight coming in through the window?
Mhm.
How safe is it when, the wind's real high?
Mm-hmm.
That's important. So some people don't make that connection, but I can't help make it.
And we ask Barbara that question. Ask Barbara that question. I do want to know. I want to hear how people answer that. Ask Barbara that question again, please. Who are you? That question.
Who are you when you are not worried about just surviving?
Who are you? Barbados. Scott, will get in the WhatsApp number, please.
I will ask
266-4688.
We got you. Give me again, Scott.
266-4688.
Go ahead.
So past your kind of personal issues
Mhm.
as a nation then, who are we as a nation?
Come
When
on.
we're not worried about making sure everybody's housed, when we have that covered, where everybody has a home.
Mm-hmm.
So then you move on to thinking, where are the spaces that we go to create? Where are the spaces that we go to think and innovate? That is why I do what I do, because I want us to get from the bottom of that pyramid to the top of the pyramid
As a nation, though,
as a nation.
which is a lot.
Yeah, that's a huge task.
Yeah,
right there.
because as a nation, separately we got many needs and issues, but then collectively those issues are compounded. So a woman taking on, not you taking on that issue, but you putting yourself in that mindset and that frame of thought, which is fairly deep. How do you because it's a lot to study. So how do you focus on which specific area you want to focus on what specific thing you want to focus on? Because knowing you and you are very thoughtful and clear, shouldn't be there thinking that 10 things pop in your mind.
Yeah, all the time.
You see, like
All the time.
you'd never tell me that, but from me having this conversation, you could tell. They could tell you, could tell you, she's listening, keep quiet. So she got to be very thoughtful. Anybody listen good Scott, ain't like me, very thoughtful. You know what I mean? Once on this, like you use listen. So how do you focus?
Firstly, I think that's just something innate to my nature. People confuse complexity and complication. For me, I love complexity. And that's what design is. You kind of weave in all these different things that need to work together seamlessly.
True.
Right.
So balancing the number of ideas, I love it. That's where I feel comfortable because it's this layering of things. And then when you get like these synergies, that's where ideas and innovation pops up. When it comes to building now, that complexity comes from, say, for example, the site. Understanding what are the different things impacting it, whether it's traffic around it, whether it's the orientation of the sun, what type of soil is it on. So kind of understanding the vibe. I know some people don't like to hear these kind of ethereal words when it comes to like technical stuff.
I'm one of the hosts and I'm a Rasta man.
Fair.
Like,
So it's the vibe.
1,000%, so you could use it.
Understanding the vibe of the site and what it wants, what it needs was missing. If it's a site in the city, for example, was the culture and the social dynamics around the site was missing. Was the function or program that's missing. If you walk past the site and you interact with it, what do you wish that space could become?
Right.
And that's what a lot of member kids know. Some I can't talk about yet, but getting us to a point where we're not just visualizing what the building could be. It's not just about, say, building information modeling. It's taking it a step past that to digital twin construction, where it's not just a visual representation, but it's a simulated representation. So now you as a person interacting with that space or interacting with the building, you become part of the creation of the building and how it actually performs.
I love that. Science and engineering of climate change. Science and engineering of climate change. This course is for those who want to understand not only the basis of climate change science, but also what we can really and effectively do to curb the present trend in the planet's temperatures. They think it's right in. I just want Anthony to know that. What we can do to curb the present trend in the planet's temperatures. Like, I can ask about these things too quickly. Because like, can we? Let me read that again for you. Let me read that again. What we can really and effectively do to curb the present trend in the planet's temperatures. I know that stick me, sorry about this, but we're reading things.
Did you see that story this morning? It's like it was thousands of dead fish.
Yeah, you Scott, you know where your mind is good. Man, you read this and like you and I be gonna watch your news.
Yeah.
So you know Sluggy ain't gonna miss that. So then when you read this, you know that first they pop it both we had. You know what I mean? So but again, can we do to curb the present trend in the planet's temperatures, can we?
That's possible.
Nice.
The question is it likely based on human consumption? You know.
I want to do my gloom out here.
But here it is.
Go.
When we talk about these things, often in narrative has this undertone of doom and gloom. But I think with technology, and I speaking specifically to the context of Barbados, really small face, leveraging technology helps us to kind of get a head start.
Listen, right? You see how you are great what you do. Next link, you learn about existing technologies that mitigate the efforts of climate change.
The effects.
Yeah.
The effects of climate change. You get me?
Mm.
So that in the beginner level, EDHEC business school, approximately 9 hours to complete. Just 9 hours. I just read all one of the reviews. Lovely many examples of calculations and critical approach. These are much needed in the debate on climate change today.
We need a lot more people aware and working in the area. So in terms of acquisition of skills, I think in Barbados, we're doing a pretty good job with renewable energy in general, training and jobs around that. But the actual technical analyses and simulations and computational design and generative modeling, I think there's huge opportunity there to kind of become subject matter experts in those fields.
So you would recommend everybody should take that course then?
Yeah, I mean, it's there.
It's free.
It's free.
Why not?
Yeah, it directly impacts your livelihood, your quality of life, just based on the fact that you live on a rock, surrounded by water, in a planet that is getting gradually warmer.
And that's my question, right? Like being where we are geographically, should we be more aware? I am also concerned and dealing with solution based now. Should we be more aware?
100%.
Because where we are, and can you explain quickly what
I think throughout history, the Caribbean has kind of been kind of forgotten middle ground between Africa and North America, the rest of the Americas.
Yeah.
And I say this to myself all the time, no matter what it is, no one is coming to save you. You gotta find the ideas and the solutions yourself and hope to meet people along the way that will help you. Sometimes it's not a problem unless it's your problem. So in Barbados, we are a Canary Island, as in we are an island that's probably gonna feel a lot of the repercussions of climate change before the rest of the world does. So if you look at that as an opportunity, you're kind of uniquely positioned to start to innovate those ideas.
You could be a leader.
You could be a leader.
Yeah.
And it's not just about Barbados, then where are the other islands, the Caribbean, but what about South Pacific, Vanuatu, Palau, Tuvalu, Kiribati, Micronesia, places that most people haven't heard of, but that is a huge market of sorts for us in terms of innovative ideas around climate change solutions.
Wow. Yeah, definitely taking a look at that course tonight, Sluggy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That shows when it comes to things like climate change, if you don't fully understand what you are listening to, what you are looking for, what you are reading, there could be a lot of misconceptions. But then we explain that there's simple things that we can do and then taking a course so you could learn the trains and how to curve the trains. You know what I mean? Which I think is extremely important. You get me? Like curving certain trains. I think that's very, very important. And a course like this, I'm sure will be imperative. You know what I mean? If we want to develop as a nation, we gotta go beyond what we seeing now or what we doing now. And it gotta go towards like what the next 30 years will be. You know what I mean? So when we get to the next 30 years, what it will be. And then a lot we can be still living. When you old, how you want to live, what kind of country you want to live in, what kind of world you want to live in the world. Because it seems to me that every country gotta take the approach if it's to be effective. Because if Barbados on it strong, it ain't gonna matter because climate change is the entire world, you get me? So if only we on it, Scott, you get me? And this is so critical, bro. If only us on it, right? It's not gonna work. You get me? Because you're looking at curb trains globally. You understand? You think, man, that we can do it? And you think through you and through others like yourself and using things like architecture and engineering together, do you think we can do it?
I do. Barbados, as I said again, throughout history, we have been a kind of linchpin, kind of pivotal geographic location for good and bad, atrocities and cool ideas. And I see no reason why we can't re-leverage that and kind of rebrand our identity around the small island nation that produces solutions to global problems.
I love that. I love that. NTI.org.bb. Over 5,000 courses free. Listen, I absolutely love the conversation. Before we end, I need to ask you, what would you, Alyssa, like to see us do more of? What can we be better at? And how can we all take part in this global fight?
Creation over consumption. Dreaming big.
Creation over, say that again?
Creation over consumption.
Just quietly dropping these bombs.
Big bomb for
You know what I mean? Like, just dropping these bombs. Creation.
over consumption.
Creation over consumption. In this digital age, creation is king, you know. Stop kind of taking problems just as they come and accepting them as they are. Maybe try to get past the point of complaining, but actually generating ideas.
I love that. I love that. Scott Rock. She's incredible. Just dropping gems. Just dropping gems whole evening. Just dropping gems whole evening, and the NTA got something coming up. You understand? And it can be over the weekend. And if they bring me, they can be there. You know,
If they bring you.
there's no one cameo say. Dr. Lee Clark, good evening, man. And thanks for tuning in. But Donna's don't want to bring me outside.
It's because you're being back to the game.
If you so.
You've been hearing about the NTI right here on Midweek Mindset on 95. You can get first-hand in-person guidance though on their free courses this Saturday, July 1st. It's going on at Golden Square Freedom Park. You can visit the NTI booth from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the International Day of Cooperatives Fair. All right, so check it out. Golden Square Saturday between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. The NTI booth will be there. You can go and ask them all the questions, everything you want to know about the NTI. How free are the courses? Are they really like free? Is everything like he says true? That sort of thing. They'll answer all your questions on Saturday.
And it's Saturday, you said?
July 1st.
Okay, Saturday, July 1st. Big ups to everyone on the outside locked on, nti.org.bb. Look at these people. Scott, turn it the music in background. Turn the music. Don't message me these things. Don't message me these things and challenge me on air. But we are the NTI. We are the NTI. NTI.org, BB. 5,000 courses free. NTI.org, BB. Scotland Rock and the boys sluggy. NTI.org, BB. never test me and tell me go free. NTI.org, BB sluggy, then I am the freestyle king. NTI.org.bb, over 5,000 courses free here every Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Scholar Rock as usual. Great job, and they will never stop saying it until we are not here. Big at yourself all the time. NTI, I love it. Empowering Bajans, taking business to the next step. I'm dealing with transformation. Scotland Rock. Alyssa,
Yes, sir.
you were incredible. Keep up the good work. And I hope, Barbados, that we could tell young girls that these are women that you can also be like. You get me? I love what I'm doing, yes. Walk up, stink, yes. Say the Rasta man, I love it. It's a girl's man, everybody know I love it, yes. But we need to show other alternatives too. And we got women out here doing things like this. There are incredible women too. You know what I mean? And young women when it could be like her as well. You get me? In one size fits all, in one way for everybody. We are a people of many different talents and all needs to be shown. NTA.org.bb, Uncle Sluggy. And I'm out.
Equip every Bajan with the knowledge and skills to be citizens of good character. Confident.
Okay, I heard Mike, like again after all though. Usually
She look good out here. She look good out here. Oh. And that, right, and that's not your fault.